not have to do anything with your legs is big benefits, but some people, like Catalina for example, which has to keep kiting and using her legs power and not being able to drink besides if she comes back to the beach, which is sometimes more of a risky bet. But yeah, on the other hand, when it's raining, it gets really tricky also to get these big kites to fly properly, because the profile from the kite get degraded from the raindrops. They get heavier, getting like rain inside, and also like from your perspective as a rider, you get the rains straight into your face, going 20-23 knots upwind like we saw. Like it can be painful and not really comfy, and it's super hard to get any information, any field of view, and know what happened around you, which can be like really tricky because you really want to make sure you know where you're going, you know where your direct opponents are and what they are doing. And yeah, both extremes like rains and super hot are not the best, let's say, for kiting. But yeah, I'm really impressed how good they are. Like we didn't see any like sign of people being tired from like stupid crash or like a crazy mistake like at the end of the days, and I would have expected, because the weather conditions are really tough. It's been like super hot over the whole Europe, I think, the couple days, but here in Gizzeria is like on a different level, I would say. But yeah, they're all really impressively good and performing to their respective level. So it looks like the girls are lining up. Last tag. Get to the last minute of the starting procedure, with still a lot of girls going on starboard, deciding to go for the committee. And we can see the coach boat I was talking about, which would welcome and allow the sailors to get a rest, get a drink, get something to eat, and make a break. Wow, we're having another really compact start. Everyone keen to be able to tag as soon as possible by starting at the committee. Eloise is at the front of what's going on.
Looks like
here they are.
A fairly clean start with no tangles. Again, these girls are getting good at starting at the boat end, or really packed tightly. Definitely quite light there. I think we've had a few girls struggling to make that attack at the start. Interestingly, a fair few of them are following the Catalina approach of holding out on starboard.
But I was just about to say that we could see some tube kites foiling close to the beach, and the kites are quite steady on the edge of the wind window on the beach. So I think that there is a proper wind gradient from the beach to the offshore. So let's see if, like on top of the cape effect, there would be like more wind close to the shore, which allow the sailors to go a lot faster. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we can really tell from the drone images that the wind is light.
So we can see that pack leading into that corner is France's Chloe Reville. Again, the Israeli duo in Gal Boka and Mika Caffrey. It seems to be in this fleet that the girls, if something works for them, they'll give it a go again, and I think Mika will be looking to repeat that performance that she did in the previous race. Giulia and Catalina Turienzo also having a battle further up the course. I think they will be the last to tack into that ley line. Oh no! We've had a failed tack close to the beach. It looks super, super tricky just there.
Interesting. We can see that the girl crossing in front and port decided to take quite a lot behind.
It's not always easy to make that ley line call from so far away. So I wonder if she had a better perspective a little bit further up the beat to be able to make the call to actually play it a bit safer, go on a bit longer and come in with some nice speed to that windward. Oh, it looks like Catalina Turienzo and Giulia Damasovic have had to duck those riders coming in on starboard.
So we get once again Magda on the lead with Chloe and Eloise on her hunt.
Magda Wojciechowska is definitely having a much happier day today. I think she found it pretty tough yesterday. She was consistent with some fourths and fifths, but it definitely wasn't what the rider wanted. And we are seeing some really nice racing from her here today. And I'll be interested to see from Robert, our cameraman, his perspective on the beach, on the race course, because every day she has waved directly into the camera mid-racing. That's her signature move. She loves to just snap out of racing for 1 second and just wave straight to Robert.
I was so impressed yesterday being on the media board, being able to watch Magda just waving at the photographer, where most of the time when I'm racing and someone told me, oh, you saw the boat at mark number 2, for example, and I'm like, no, I didn't see anything, and there are people like Magdalena leading a race being able to wave at him. Yeah, hilarious.
She's done it forever, and it's a light wind day, and I was saying, I think it was to you, Teo, earlier, how she's always pretty fantastic at just chatting downwind. So you'll go around the windward, and it's pretty silent when you go downwind in lighter winds, and she will just chat to whoever's around her about anything and everything, about the happenings of her race, and she is such a character, really fun to race with, always light-hearted. At the same time, she is sendy and incredibly in control with her speed.
Yeah. We are also having one of these really early jabs from the girls. Nina is still, but the leaders are a little bit to the left.
So again, Eloise Pigurie showing her experience in this fleet at the front yet again, with Lisa Caval not too far behind her, both French riders, all top 3 French riders actually battling it out at the front there. Chloe Reville will be looking to get even better than her usual 3rd place, I reckon. But still impressively consistent riding from the young French rider. Again, it was so sweet talking to Lisa, saying how she loved kind of how the French are dominating so much in this event, and how it's so nice to be at the front in races with all of your teammates around you. And I think they are such good friends. I don't know what you would say, Theo. Kind of, you know them a little bit better than me from your home country, but they race really well together.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to see. Like, they've been spending a lot of time together, like training and spending time trying to understand how this whole thing works and how to get better than other people. So yeah, they invested a lot of time together, and being able to race each other and to fight for the top spot here is like is a big success already, I think, for them, and it's really cool to see from the outside. They're like staying in the same accommodation and stuff like this. They still get to spend a lot of time together, and it's really nice to see that even with all this tension and all this pressure and all this, like, yeah, everything what's happening, like having to fight for the top spot where every point counts, and like being able to keep this friendship and good vibe within like a group, because there are also like other people who didn't success so well and that have to go through the same like time of the day, like the dinner and stuff like this. But yeah, it's really cool to see that they get along so well, that they invested so much time together, and that it paid off.
Absolutely. We've had another interesting split here as well. So Magdalena Wojciechowska going out to the right with Lisa Cavall from France. And then we have another Polish-French split on the left-hand side with Chloe Reville holding out on that starboard leg, only just tacking up the beat now, with Julia Damatovic just to leeward of her. So this will be really interesting to see how these two separate duos come into that final windward.
It's really interesting. I feel like the wind turned a little bit to the right, so the starboard tack would bring them a little bit closer to the mark, where the port like is not like bringing you so close to the mark. So I think it's gonna open up a little bit also the game from the right hand side to the left hand side. So let's see how it goes at the ley line crossing.
Yeah, it's always nice when something a bit different happens in Gizzeria, a little bit unexpected, and it's cool to see which riders kind of cotton onto that first, because it's easy to become complacent with just repeating the same tactics again and again, or kind of aiming for a particular execution, and then when something different happens, it might catch you off guard, or you might be really on it, and that will really pay for you here, I think. So it does look like the right-hand side paid there for Magda Wojciechowska, who is jibing now. We've got Eloise Piguret just behind her. We'll see if she follows
Pushing a little further.
Wojciechowska. Yeah. I think she'll be wanting clean air for this downwind and then an easy ley line. I think I would probably be looking for an easy ley line call as well. So interesting that the right has just paid and she's not gone back to that side. So all of the riders are actually really spread out in this race. Not so many kind of close battles that we've seen earlier on today.
Well, here you can see how amazing Gizzeria and Hang Loose Beach is for kite foiling actually. Super flat water, wind blowing every day from like whatever super light wind to proper 15 meter conditions, and we are so lucky to be able to come back every year.
We love it so much. I think it almost feels like home, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. There's always such a good vibe here among the riders. It's always very hot, but it makes you just want to spend as much time in the water and on the water as possible.
This is gonna be a really interesting crossing.
Oh, it looks like Eloise Piguret has jibed just behind Magda Wojciechowska, the Polish rider, coming into that final jibe. And everyone's been pretty clean around this jibe, which is nice to see.
And all over the course overall, we didn't see any tangle, any big mistakes from anyone.
Oh.
Everyone is racing super clean.
Really, really good stuff.
Magda is really impressive today. I feel like
Oh,
a couple times she got the lead, she was just flying.
Yeah, 100%. Especially on her kite. So that kite was involved in a tangle on the first day. I think she managed to fix it overnight, and I know she wasn't happy with how it was performing on one of the days, but she is really, really making it work today. These riders coming in on that final reach. Very consistent stuff from both the Polish rider and the French rider, Eloise Pegurier. They will be delighted with that set of races.
So let's see what happened.
And behind them, that, as usual, Chloe Rebel from France with another consistent third. Okay, let's head to another ad before our next race.
So we just got the results from the men's fleet from the previous race. So yeah, we can see that Maximilian increased his lead a little bit more over Kibi and the rest of the fleet. Lucas made it to the third place. Lucas is now on the podium and managed to come back over Ricky. There is 2 points between the third and the fifth, which is gonna decide who is gonna enter the semi-final with 2 wins. So the riders being third and fourth tonight are gonna enter the semi-finals with 2 wins, which means they will only have to win 1 race to make it to the final, where the fifth and sixth will have to win 2 races, and the rest they will have to win 3 races. Giandrea, who was sitting in 9th place this morning and who was fighting for the top 10 since day one, is now on proper 7th place. So yeah, let's go on for the next race. We can see someone struggling to well start on the start line. Whoa!
Oh my God! Oof!
That was quick.
I'm not entirely sure who those riders were, but that is not a fun place to be. Oh,
When you
never easy when you tangle on the start line.
yeah.
So it looks like the rider drops off the foil there. He's pumping to get going. He gets away clean, and that kite just came out of nowhere.
This was pretty good, and then he got the line on him, which made him like crash.
So that is Maximilian there on the red VMG. We'll see if he can repeat his performance from last race. All of the riders on that port tack at the moment, heading to the ley line.
So one of the first time we can see Maximilian actually one of the first one to hit the ley line.
Yeah, true. He usually stays a little bit further up the beat on starboard before he tacks. But he's done something a little bit different for this race. Still with a really lovely clean lane.
Wow.
Oof.
This leyline tag is also so intense.
Oh, intense is the word for it, for sure.
And you really want to make sure to go through the starts on a good position, because then you have an advantage over the rest of the fleet, and then when you know you can tag free and have a good leyline tag, you can you're on a good way to the rest of the race actually. The guys are really pushing you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad that even with the BS course, we are seeing some long starboard tags like this one, which is a little bit something like particular to Gizzeria, something we experience as a rider a lot in Gizzeria, like having to hold this position and get to your maximum speed for a long time, because in this kind of weather condition you really want to make sure your boat speed is to the maximum it can be, because tactic wise you manage to sneak in where you want to go, and more especially the right area, you have to just express yourself, and everyone is pretty sharp by the month of July, and especially at the World Championship, so yeah.
I think historically Gizzeria is one of the most exhausting events that we have to do every year, and everyone is pretty dead after it. Just pushing so hard, and especially in the heat. I know that for me, your legs are just cramping up, and mine they just go numb by the end of the beat. My legs are numb.
Yeah, especially that most of the time you want to make it early to Gizzeria, because you're gonna have really high quality time training and preparing your gear and getting some hours in. But once you're here, it's so hard to stay out of the water. The water is just always calling, and then you go for your training session, you get food, and then you keep going, and then the sunset shows up, and then you're like, I have to go.
I have to go. Sunset sounds are calling.
Yeah. And then you end up spending crazy amount of hours on the water, and then the regatta arrives and your body's already on a tired level,
You're like, I have to do a whole week of racing now.
Yeah.
So it looks like Maximilian Mader has maintained that lead. Again, we've got a crew of 4 kiters ahead of the rest of the pack, all battling on this downwind.
Yeah, it's really impressive how Maximilian can hold the position and the load for so long. He's a really, really consistent rider, and he's really able to, when he decides, okay, I go for whatever mode I want downwind, I'm gonna stick to it and just go for it 100% all the way till I'm up for the next mission, which will be the upwind and so on. He's really impressive. There's so many people battling out between each other. It's really nice to see.
Pumping for that Lewis just there.
Yeah, it's like Ricardo's
nice. Yeah. Yeah, that is a classic Ricky silhouette, isn't it? And I would guess, looking at that drone shot of those 4 fly surfers, I reckon that is Cuban Hang from China in that 3rd position, and I'm hoping that it's Lucas Fonseca from Brazil.
here they are, the first one to tag out. Maximilian still a little bit more to the left than the rest of the boys. And you can see the mark is really, really dense. So many people. This is a beautiful picture of the race area. We can see the coach boat on the right side, checking out the mark rounding, filming, getting ready for the debrief and analysis of what the boys are doing. Ricky and Max are
Ricky will be
fighting.
pushing
Yeah.
hard. He will be really, really wanting another bullet, I am sure.
Yeah. That's a really early tag.
Very early tag. Interesting. We can see Max Mader just looking behind him to see how close his rivals are. A nice lead there again from the young Singaporean rider. Looks to me like he's a little bit tight on the ley line. He was pumping up a bit to just get some distance above the next mark. We've got Riccardo Pianozzi from Italy just behind him.
Let's see how goes the mark running for Max on this one. Yeah.
Pretty hefty lead.
Yeah.
There he is, going straight into that jibe, and he's got space to do it. He's got space to do whatever he wants to do on this final downwind. Riccardo Pianozzi holding out both of these riders with a big, big distance on the three behind them, and it looks like Gian Andrea in that third position again.
Yeah, which was the one that I really early, so it looked like
Yeah,
they have.
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Talking to a few riders, they were saying that Jan's tactics are pretty impressive. I think he always knows exactly what he wants to do, especially here. He's been making really good decisions, and his execution has been pretty consistent as well. I guess he has quite a nice advantage, having raced for a whole week last week.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how tired he is, but he's not showing it. He is really pushing from day to day, and I think he must be loving the nice speed increase now that he's on Formula Kite equipment compared to the Youthase equipment from last week.
Yeah, this guy, Jandra, just keeps on impressing me because, yeah, I know him like for a while now from the circuit, and I had the chance to do a photo shoot with him for freeride equipment, and he was just so good at everything you would ask him to do.
Yeah.
On the twin tip is really impressive, jumping on the foil is really, really good. Last week I was so amazed about how he was like managing to lead like the event on gear he didn't spend so much time on, kind of, and now the transition after the first days I was already like super impressed to see he was holding on to the top 15, and then he got into 10th position and then 9th, and now he's like fighting for the 6th place, and now he's like having a couple races within the top 5 fighting for the top 3, so really, really impressive from Jandra.
I completely agree. He is such a natural at everything that he tries. Yeah, he's an incredible kiter all round. He can do it. He can do it all.
And he's actually one of the youngest from the Gulf fleet. He was born on 2007. So yeah, impressive. Ricky is
Coming into this finish.
holding, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't want to let it go.
It looks like we've got Max Mader from Singapore with yet another nice lead in this race on that final reach, with Riccardo Pianozzi just behind him. Both riders with a pretty big lead. There he has it, a slightly more conservative celebration this time from Maximilian. But I'm sure he will be happy with that race.
That's for sure. There are not so many people able to aim, like to have the goal, like the week goal is pretty much to get the cleanest score sheet ever, like having only bullets, for example, and yeah.
Yeah,
There are
not many people can
yeah.
go to that, hey. And there we have it, Jan Andrea from Switzerland in third place. What a show. Okay, let's take it to an ad before our next race.
So we were previously talking about like people able to do like so many things and being like so good at it, and we got one of these guys also like within the Formula Kite world, which is Florian Trittel, a Spanish sailor who was doing Formula Kite a couple years ago and then went to the Olympics in Tokyo on the NACRA and is now sailing on a 470 aiming for Paris 2024. In the meantime, he's sailing on Sail GP, and it would be really cool to hear what he has to say about all these skills that you can transfer from one discipline, doing one thing to the other.
Sorry, correction.
Man of many talents, recent medalist in the World Championships in the 49er, his new class, NACRA 17 in the Olympics and Sail GP as well, and he used to be a kite foiler. What took you away from this amazing world, Flo?
Good question, eh? I come back and it's really amazing. So, yeah, it was 4 years since I last time came here, and probably what took me away is that back then it wasn't Olympic.
Right, and now it is, so maybe we'll see you back. But
No, I don't think so.
how transferable are the skills? How useful was this to take into your NACRA campaign and now Sail GP, for example?
Yeah, for sure. I think the kite surfing class has been leading with other classes, has been pioneering the transition from not foiling to foiling. And yeah, me being part of it has always given me that slight sort of leap in experience with foiling boats and foiling boards in this case. And I think what is very transferable in this case is obviously that fast decision making. You have to be committing to, like things happen twice or three times as fast, and you have to be thinking 5 steps ahead to be making it right.
So Sail GP 50 knots top speed looks really fast, but actually which is the faster thinking game? Is it that or is it this?
Difficult question, eh? I think it's a tough answer, but I think at the end of the day, all foiling classes, they require that fast decision making, that thinking ahead, and obviously it's a different case on the F50s where we are 6 athletes on board and we have to communicate, which is giving one extra step towards that cue. No, you have to be not only doing it but also communicating it before doing it, so it's just making it longer, and that's maybe the only thing that differentiates it.
And do you think that some of the other riders here, some of the top guys and girls, can see a future in some of the other foiling events like America's Cup and Sail GP?
Yeah, definitely. I guess it's since it's so related, them being used to such fast speeds, it is something that they can use for their advantage in future. No, obviously it's a different class, and I think what I've seen now, no, in these 4 years that I've been away and now coming back with it being established as an Olympic class, you see how much more professional it gets, how the teams are starting to work with all that Olympic knowledge from their country that they can get, and they will build up on that, and I think that's sort of the gap that they can close towards the sailing classes, and then from there on they will be fully competitive.
Flo, great to see you back here. Look forward to seeing a lot more of you and at next year's World Championship.
Likewise, thank you.
So we're back. We just checked the ranking of the women, which is still really interesting. They're getting really ready for the last race of the day, and the top 3 still fits within 2 points, which is actually really insane.
Yeah, it's amazing how close they are, literally 27, 28, 29 points. I think this race will be, the decider on who our 2 finalists are going to be going straight into the finals tomorrow, and then with the rest of the top 10, who those semi-finalists will be having to battle it out to claim those final 2 spots in the final. And the French and the Polish will definitely have coach boats out there, so they will probably be aware of how tight these scores are. So yeah, we'll see some interesting racing, I'm sure. Everyone just really thirsty for that final billet of the day. Okay, it's looking fairly light out there. I think it must have dropped a couple of knots. We can see a few kites in the water. Everyone else just doing what they can to keep moving, getting ready for this next race. It's the last race of the day, so it looks like we've got some brave port starters. Will they duck or will they go for crossing the fleet? Who knows?
There are a lot of girls.
Oh my goodness, I think that's over half the fleet are going for it on port, actually.
Yeah. With people struggling on the last maneuver, which is a little bit sad, but let's see. Yeah, this is really interesting.
I think I would want to be doing as few tacks as possible in this race, so actually starting on port is really nice to not have to do that pressured tack straight out of the boat end. And it looks like they're crossing for now.
Yeah.
And they've made it. They've done it. Really good call from these riders.
I'm really impressed that now the girls decided to start at the pin end and starboard just to kind of block the advantage that the post starter could get.
Yeah, like we saw from Lucas yesterday in the boys' fleet.
But it's prime. So Magdalena and Julia had a really good start. Catalina decided to stand on starboard and is now playing toward the left-hand side.
Catalina's going for the same strategy in every race today.
Yeah, but I think sometimes when you get the right recipe for you and it works, you just have to keep on going and not having to worry too much about what other people are doing. Just making sure that all the parameters that make it work are fine and green. So, would be really cool to identify Lisa also and Eloise fighting for this final and final series qualification. It's full on. Doreen had a really nice start also. We can see a proper angle difference from all the guys starting more or less at the same point on the pin end.
Magda Wojciechowska again finding herself in that first place, leading the girls' fleet for this final race of the day. Will she be able to hold on? She's currently in third place in the overall rankings, so taking a bullet will mean everything for her going into the last day. It will put her straight through to the final. It looks like all of the fleet have tacked pretty early. I think this ley line is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
We've already got some people tacking back, making it more early, which I think is pretty smart. You don't want to be doing that manoeuvre right at the windward.
But Magdalena has
Magda
to tag
going
also.
for the cross on Chloe Revel.
Oh!
Very close. Chloe holding out. We'll see if she's making the ley line or if we'll have kind of roles reversed in a few seconds.
This was really tight. I feel like Chloe had
What did
to.
you say? I think, did Chloe have to move there?
Yeah, she had to decelerate and
Yeah.
be toward the guy, so let's see if
I
this
wonder if
would
we have
end
a
up.
protest.
Yeah. And now she has to take.
Yeah, now it's Chloe Revel's turn to tack. Crossing.
And going even further.
Yeah. She's gone a fair bit further. It will be interesting if Magda Wojciechowska actually has to do another tack for that ley line. It looks like they're making it.
Yeah.
Chloe putting the bow
They're
down.
really quick, huh? 16 knots, 17 knots.
Yeah,
Uh,
scooching around.
it looks like Lisa is on the hunt, huh?
It does, yeah. Tricky racing for these girls in this final race of the day. It's nice to see Derin Atakan from Turkey also up there fighting with those top four riders.
Yeah. Darren
Yeah.
has been spending so much time also like training and willing to progress. Every time I would go training somewhere this winter, I would like see her and being like the first one like to go out, and like she's really committed. And it's
Absolutely.
really, really cool to see that everything paid off, and she's now like within the top girls fighting for the win, race win.
It's so cool, and she's actually spent quite a bit of time with the Polish team, which has been really nice for those girls to kind of collaborate with their training.
Oh, I can see Eloise landing her kite. So Eloise is on the beach,
Oh, Eloise.
which is now really ideal because she had one DNC, 1/10th and 1/14th from what I can remember. So she'll have to get this one as a discard.
Oh,
So let's see after the race what the ranking says. But the hunt and the fight is, we can say,
today is a very different day for her compared to yesterday. Oh, it looks light. Both of these girls with a nice distance for that lead.
yeah, we can clearly see that being behind someone in the kite's drag is not really ideal and makes it so hard to generate speed. So when, like in the position of Magdalena, when you're further, even by a couple meters, but you have the
The tracking shows that Lisa Caval has stopped, but we can see from our perspective she is still battling it out in second place at the moment with Magda Wojciechowska. Both riders going around the leeward now. Again, really nice to see Darren Atakan, the Turkish rider, and Julia Damasovic also fighting for that third place at the minute. Both of our leaders tacking out.
Really good move from Lisa. Like, she had a really nice mark landing. She decided to go on high mud to put herself in a position where Magda wouldn't have the room to maneuver and to go hit the right hand side corner, where Lisa could in the end like tack whenever she wanted to, and she decided to tack quite early. So let's see. This is real fight, match race for the
Yeah, literally. Yeah, proper match race. It's as if there is no one else on that race course, just those two riders battling it out at the front there.
And you can really feel it's a bit of a pump effect, like they're like getting faster and faster by pulling themselves towards the bullet.
For sure. I think after 5 races today, they're going to be exhausted heading into tomorrow. They are pushing so hard. I think you would not know that this is a youth event. The riders are doing such a good job. Yeah, literally some of the best in the world here, even on a senior level.
Then I've been able to witness a lot of the preparation from the French team and like other people, and I got actually really impressed how well they prepare themselves, and not only because of the surrounding and because of all the like the federation work and stuff, but also in their mind. Personally, they're like so professional and they're so keen and willing to be progressing and reaching the top. It's really impressive.
I completely agree. The attitude of all of these riders is amazing. The way that they approach racing is so cool and so mature as well.
So let's see. Lisa decided to go a little bit over the Magdalena's ley line. Let's see if it pays off, if she can catch up with the speed gain. But Magdalena seems to be in a quite comfortable position right now.
Again, it's a really spread out fleet that we can see here. Not our usual kind of close kiting battles. As more kites fall out the sky, I think it's definitely a race to kind of play it safe, stay on the foil and just maintain your position.
Come on, girls.
Yeah. So cool. I think another amazing thing to see is how everyone works so hard on their mindset, and again from such young riders to be aware that that is so important, and it's such a gain in the grand scheme of things, is a really mature approach to racing. Obviously we work on our speed, we work on our tactics, nutrition, body, like we do a lot of work in the gym. Equipment is huge, we spend a lot of dedication to that, but at the end of the day the thing that gets you around the course is your mind and your attitude, and and the attitude of all of these riders is really impressive.
Yeah.
It is looking light out there. I think these last jibes are going to be pretty tricky. We'll see a bit of pumping, I'm sure.
And I think the fight we are watching is actually a really good strength lesson, like knowing that these two are within 2 points fighting for the the qualification in the final for tomorrow for the world title is like really impressive. Wow, Lisa came back really strong down, but she has to wait for Mike that jab.
What a lovely shot. That was pretty much perfect synchronization there. again, it's amazing how calm and steady they both are, battling so closely together.
And being so clean.
I think this is where we're going to see that slalom finish really come to life. I think it's going to come down to that last jibe, that last reach.
Yeah.
Woo!
About position at the entrance of the maneuver, before the last mark, position at the exit, getting ready to get to the finish line as soon as possible. Wow.
Magda Wojciechowska just undertaking Lisa Cavall there into that reach, into the final jibe. Now, I think Lisa is in quite a good attacking position on this jibe. We'll see how she approaches it.
But still, like, with these big kites, you can lose a lot of time if you don't get the timing perfect, and which could open the door for Magda. But Lisa is executing really well. Here they go.
Really nice stuff, both riders. I think Magda Wojciechowska just extending that lead with a further few meters into that reach.
Wow, that looks so long.
It must feel like a lifetime. Like, where is that finish line?
Yes! The car like right down, just in case they didn't realize it was the third place. Good job.
Incredible.
I think this allow Lisa to enter the final have a first.
Yes.
And let's see between Magda and Eloise, because Eloise couldn't race the last race. We saw her coming back ashore. I don't know what happened, maybe a tangle at the start or something, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, hard for Eloise not to get to battle for that final race.
Yeah, and let's not forget about the men. It's just about to start their last race. We can see a lot of post starter again. What can happen?
Okay, and this is the final start of the men today. Again, we see lots of the fleet ducking on port, and we had a few port flyers there. With successful, no tangles, which is nice to see for this final race. So we will see if Maximilian Mader from Singapore can claim his final bullet of the day. He has had an incredible day. I think he will be pretty happy when he gets back to shore. Again, he has had a lot of experience here, racing over the years. We can see Lucas Fonseca from Brazil again going for that same tactic. He played it safe, he ducked the fleet, and he's aiming to be one of the first to get to the shore, take that lift into the mark, and hopefully be one of those top riders leading into that windward. Incredible execution from the young Brazilian to be able to execute every start of the day exactly how he wanted to, I think is such an achievement. Not many people can do that with such little start line experience, I think. And in Brazil, it's amazing. So when they train, they don't have a coach boat. They have a small marker buoy that they take out with them, just carrying it on their shoulder, and they drop it into the sea. And they only have one, so they have to kind of imagine a start line. So the fact that Lucas is nailing these starts is honestly quite extraordinary to me.
especially on these big kites, because when we went there, we get to spend a little bit of time there, and it was full on. The wind was blowing every single day, and Bruno Lobo, which is the top Brazilian rider at the moment, is really on another level when he switched to the 15 than on the big kite, because they don't get to spend so much time riding in light wind conditions. But it looks like Luca really identified this weakness kind of and put the work on to
Yeah, he's really addressed it. Yeah. I think we spent roughly 2 months there, and I think I used the 15 meter almost every single day. So to be able to do this performance on a 23 meter is impressive, considering how little time he has had on this kite. And it looks to me like he is battling with Riccardo Pianozzi from Italy at the front there. Wow, that is an amazing lead on the rest of the fleet. Lucas is flying behind the leader, Riccardo Pianozzi.
But I'm pretty sure Maximilian is not gonna.
Yeah, he won't let
come
it
back
fly.
and show.
I'm sure he'll be playing with them on this last one. He'll be like, oh, let them think that they're ahead. And I'll just, I'll do what I do. Yeah, he's good at overtaking. I think we don't often see Maximilian being overtaken, but we see him overtaking other riders a lot. Yeah, he has got some pace there. So I think Riccardo Pianozzi will be feeling comfortable with nice, clean breeze ahead of him, leading onto the downwind. We can see Maximilian and Lucas Fonseca.
Jibe set for
Not
Maximilian.
Lucas Fonseca. Yeah, jibe set for Maximilian. I think we'll see a lot of jibe sets at that windward. Cuban also one of the first to jibe. A smart decision from the young Chinese rider, with some good pace on the downwind. Again, I think Cuban will be just super happy with consistency today. He's pretty comfortably in second place in the overall rankings at the moment. And it looks like Riccardo Pianozzi from Italy fighting with Cuban Hang on that downwind leg. Lucas Fonseca and Max Mader fighting for third. Back to our leaders at the front there. Really, really close.
They're really quick, huh?
Yeah. Wow, that is an incredible catch up there from Cuban Hang. I think both of these riders, Riccardo Pianozzi and Cuban, are really hunting for that bullet. This is a throwback to the European Championships earlier this year. It will be very interesting to see who wins this one. I think Cuban will be wanting some revenge. Now we see Max Mader from Singapore and Lucas Fonseca, the Brazilian, heading out to the right, separating from those top two riders. It'll be very interesting to see how things happen at the top of the beat there.
Well, Kevin decided to like really late, maybe because of Ricardo's decision of pushing him so far, but let's see, it's gonna be really interesting. I don't think we ever saw any riders going so far to the left on the upwind.
Yeah, very interesting for this final race. Again, it's quite nice to see in these last couple of races a very clear split with two separate duos kind of doing their own little battle and then coming back together at the windward.
It looks like Ricardo is really pushing. He has such a good angle upwind. We get the boys on the ley line.
It looks like that has paid. Oh, it's really hard. You just can't call it, can you?
Yeah, but the tack is gonna be a little bit of a cost.
Threading the needle there.
Wow.
Both attacking at the same time. Whoa.
I feel like we've seen this exact same action. Ricky having to jibe to tack, sorry, just below Maximilian's. A bit better.
What an incredible finish to the day. Just when you think you've got a nice lead and gosh, everyone just catches up. Things change so fast.
This is Maximilian's magic, I guess, huh?
Maximilian's magic, I like that. Yeah.
Like you said, last up win.
Oh, yeah, he's just having a bit of fun on that final race. Lucas Fonseca, interestingly, just carrying out a little bit further before he does that jibe.
Oh.
We can see Riccardo Pianozzi at the bottom of our screen.
Yeah, having a really strong downwind now.
Yeah, really nice downwind.
And keeping never far away.
Yeah. And again, that shot looking at the rest of the fleet, you can see our consistent riders in Jis van Hees, the Dutch rider, and Jan Andrea also just doing such a good job of being hot on the heels of these leaders. Okay, this will be an interesting meeting between Lucas Fonseca and Cuban Hang.
Yeah, we get so lucky with this one-to-one fights.
Yeah.
In class race, huh?
Yeah, literally. Okay, at the front there we have Riccardo Pianozzi still maintaining that lead, and Maximilian Mader, who has made an incredible catch-up there.
Yeah. What?
Again, it's down to the final slalom. Thank you, Miko, for the S2 call. We will see how Maximilian plays this.
I'm actually really surprised that Maximilian decides to go to the inside.
Same, yeah. He's still trying. And he makes it. Gosh, what? Oh my days. Okay, there we go.
You were so right, Jemima. We're teaching the last jump to get the lead.
Wow. Is Maximilian going to claim this final billet? We've got Riccardo Pianozzi just behind him. Whoa!
This is really impressive. This is one for the book, huh?
Yeah.
Everyone looking, you better record it and analyze.
Yeah.
It's actually really impressive how many meters he managed to get. Only one maneuver.
Yeah, exactly. Incredible performance from the Singaporean rider Maximilian Mader, putting on a show for the final race of the day.
Yeah.
Wow. And in third,
bringing some colored bib people. See you in a bit.
Okay, I am joined here with Lisa Cabal. Come and sit next to me, girl. What an incredible performance you had today. Tell me everything.
The first oh,
Be there. There we go.
so the first one was a bit hard because I take a really bad start, but I do my best and I climb place to I stay up to 4th place, so I'm kind of happy.
Now you're official.
Okay.
Commentator.
So at the second one, I do like a clean start. I push what I can push, and I finish first. So super happy. The same for the second race. I didn't win, and I was thinking the other mark was the downwind mark. So I had to be this time because because I was focused. I was like, okay, I think it's the wrong one. After that, and the third one, I do a good race, and I finish. First.
Yeah.
And all the rides were really tight with you. All the rider, it was really hard to win. And the 4-1 was a bit more hard. Magda took a really good start, and she was leading with Heloise, and I can't arrive to catch them. And the last one I won.
Yeah.
At the last minute, we are fighting on the reaching with Magda, and I have to be a bit more to have more speed, and I finished to 1. So I'm super happy about my day.
Incredible.
It was hard. There was a really light wind on the last one, but yeah, I'm super happy.
So
I can't dream of a better day. I never were yellow bib before, so I'm super excited.
That's amazing. It was so cool how you guys really brought us the drama in that last one, because I don't know if you were aware, but the top 3 were only 1 point separated from each other. So it was you, Eloise, Magda, and it was literally all down to who won that last race. So
Okay.
you were close. But incredible.
Yeah, I was not knowing. I didn't want to see the point because I want to push into the last one and to try to. So yeah, I'm super happy. Exhausted.
I can imagine. You should, go get some rest and eat lots of food and get ready for tomorrow. And hopefully it will just be, done in one race for you in the final. You only need to win one, hey.
Yeah, I'm really happy because the last time at the European I was third all the week. And on the last, on the semi-final, I stressed too much and I do really bad semi-final and I can't go to final. So now it's okay.
Relaxed. And what do you think made the difference for you today as well? Like, were you feeling more relaxed? I know you're definitely much happier to be racing on a 21 meter than a 15. Yeah.
I think the key today is to be like, I take every start separate to each other. Every race was, if I do a good race or a bad race, it was the same at the start. So I try to be confident, relaxed, and to do a good start. Because I think today the start was a key. And if you do a good start and you are first at the top mark, it's the ranking is done.
Yeah. You kind of just take it away from there. And it's kind of, we have a saying in Britain, like, the rich get richer. Once you're ahead in clean air, you can just keep extending that lead. And it's it's not easy leading, because obviously for you like, spotting those marks at the bottom, especially with a slalom finish, is confusing. But we loved the fact that your lead was so big that you could still be able to fit in extra jives like you did yesterday and still be happily in the lead. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. And how are you feeling about tomorrow as well?
I'm stressed because I never did a final before, but we will see. I think I try to keep the same mindset and to be focused, and we will see what happens. But I'm super happy about my day, and I think it's more important for today. So
amazing. Well, thank you so much, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Meet the R1 V4, our highest performance Olympic and IKA registered racing machine.
Okay, so Magda, tell me about your day.
Well, I have mixed feelings about my day today. I had three pretty good races and two absolutely terrible. Yeah, I crashed on a reach and finished like 7th or 9th, so yeah, it was
We saw you made a good comeback though.
yeah, I had to like put myself together and go.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, because after the crash, I was like, not really feeling myself.
Yeah.
But my coach was like, "Oh, get yourself together." I was like, yeah, I should get myself together, and I did. And I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and talk to me about that final race as well, because you and Lisa had the craziest kind of match race. It was as if the rest of the fleet just weren't there.
Well, yeah, I was trying to, have the same moves as her and like have her like in front of me,
Yeah.
so I could like see her all the time. But unfortunately, I missed the ley line on downwind, and this is going faster than me, so she just,
Yeah.
passed me. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm second, as I heard. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy to go into the finals because, like, at the Europeans and last year at Worlds, I had to go through the semi-finals, which I really like. The formula, which is exciting, but just and a bit less stress.
Yeah, it's quite
tomorrow.
nice. You can like chill a little bit. Yeah. What
So
a
I
good
can't
feeling
wait.
to just go straight through. Oh, well done, Yule.
Thank
It's
you.
been really fun watching you guys today, honestly. Yeah. Very, very
I'm
impressed.
happy I enjoyed it. It was really fun racing.
Yeah. Right, well thank you so much, and yeah, go get some good rest. Lots of food, lots of water. You must be so
Oh, I'm so tired.
yeah.
Oh, the conditions are tough.
I know, and 5 races in this heat is
Yeah.
mad as well. Yeah. Yeah. How was the wind as well out there? Because was it really up and down? We were trying to work it out.
Yeah, at first it was really, I would say it was about 10 knots for the first race. But then the wind dropped, and for the second race until practically at the last race we had like, I think less than 6 knots
Yeah,
out there
really
on the
difficult.
top mark.
Yeah.
So you had to really, see your lane lines
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go
No
for them,
mistakes.
no mistakes.
Yeah, we could tell that last one looked really tough. Anyway, well done, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, see you.
Okay, so now we have our finalists who are going straight through to the finals tomorrow. So that is Magda Wojciechowska and Lisa Caval for the women's. Lisa Caval with an extraordinary performance in that last race, putting her in that first position. And in the men's we have Maximilian Mader from Singapore in first and Cuban Hang in second. Both of those guys going straight through to the final, and everyone else in the top 10 having to battle it out through the semis to make it into those last 2 spots for the final.
yeah, it was a really interesting day. I'm really looking forward to see how the finals and semi-finals go tomorrow. And yeah, I invite you to connect. Stay tuned tomorrow because the action is gonna be full on, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of surprises.
I can actually just see Max. We got to bring him in. Max, you can do a very quick
Helmet off?
sentence. Oh, helmet on, whatever. A quick couple of sentences on how your day was. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Legend.
Well, I'll hold this here. Yeah? This is the microphone. Okay, cool. I don't know what to say. I've been just trying to stay out of trouble, honestly.
Yeah.
There was quite a bit of drama out on the water there, I must say.
Okay.
I really must say. You know, with all the conditions here that you have on the right side, the the advantage creates quite a bit of chaos. So I believe it was that second last race where we had the tangle at the boat, and those port starters on the boat.
Yeah.
They had quite a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, all around, just a lot of interesting racing. So you ask the questions, and I'll see what I can say.
Well, we're about to wrap it up, but I mean, that last race was extraordinary. What a comeback.
Oh,
Was
well,
it fun?
it was tiring.
It's tiring. I liked it.
Sweltering, I tell you. I was melting in the heat. But I will say that it was quite a bit of luck that the two front runners, Cuban and Ricardo, they went out all the way.
Yeah.
And that gave me an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I guess on that last one, that is a little too close for comfort, I must say. I think that was a little bit of an unnecessary move. But I'm happy that it turned out safe.
Same. Yeah.
And you know, nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I had the bib number 88 this race, and it means fat in Singapore,
no
right?
way.
Which is a very lucky number.
Okay.
And I think it played out well.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, you convinced us with that last move that, you know, looked very under control. So yeah.
Okay, well, I was just praying, honestly. That's all I was.
So
all I was
cool
doing.
to watch. Anyway, we will see you guys tomorrow, same time, with this guy in the final for more action. Yeah.
Well, I hope to keep it boring, but let's see what happens tomorrow.
No, we want excitement.
Well, fair enough. All right.
Thank you so much.